Welcome back to the Desk Talk Podcast. This is the fast-paced Friday episode. Your hosts, Trent Werner and Alex.smagala. Let's do it! Welcome back to the Desk Talk Podcast, the fast-paced Friday episode. In this one, Trent and I are going to sit down and talk about kind of surrounding yourself with the smarter people in the room. I don't even need to put smartest, just smarter people in the room. And kind of what that means and why it's beneficial. So let's just dive straight into it. I'm not going to do that stuff. That's not happening. We're just going straight into this episode. All right, let's do it.
There we go.
There you go. I did it.
There we go. We got it. Like Alex said, it's very important to surround yourself with people that are smarter than you in different fields. When I say that, I mean it's okay to be very smart or know a lot about your industry or your field.
I think you should be an expert.
Yeah, absolutely. But if you want to learn a new field or have an idea that requires different knowledge, surround yourself with people that have more knowledge than you in that field or industry. Perfect example with this podcast. We're trying to just bulldog it. Kyle comes along and is just messing with stuff on the board and doing all these crazy things that we have no idea what he's doing.
It's out of our pay grade.
He knows way more about this stuff than we do. And we surrounded ourselves with him, and I'm learning from him every single time we do this.
Smartest person in the room.
Same thing with...
This goes not even... So, yeah, I guess we should kind of break it up because in school, I think it's big because this is something that I did in school. And then in your, real world life, surrounding yourself with the smartest people, industry specific. You go out and be an expert in your industry and be that expert.
And learn from someone in your industry.
Obviously, you're always still going to be able to learn. But be that expert in that industry, and if people have questions around that, be the expert. But also, surround yourself with smart people in all different industries so that you can learn from them solid skills. But in school, I think this is going to pertain better to a younger audience because it could mean a lot more. You might not be the number one student in your school or in your class or whatnot, but that doesn't mean anything. I mean, shit, what was I? Probably 200 something out of 400 or 500 students. I was just average, but I was always immersing myself with the number 2 student in my class who happened to just be AP through the wall. And I'd partner with her on all group projects or maybe even him. I know that 1 and 2 was boy and girl in my school. Different for everyone, but I was always trying to immerse myself with them in my group so that I could learn from them or I could be with them in a partnership because I knew I wasn't the smartest in that subject. I knew they were way better than I was. So in school, I think it's very important. Yeah, you've got your cliques of friend, but don't be afraid to
venture out friends
with.
Yeah.
Be friends with the nerdy group. If you're in the jock group, be friends with them. Those people will carry you. They will help you out so damn much because I know they help me out. Specifics, I could shout out names, but I don't need to. Carried me through high school because I was involved in their groups and I was learning from them and I understood. I was passing tests because I was studying with them. I mean, I couldn't have gotten through high school if I studied on my own. I was always in study groups with people who were just brilliant. And that's so important in life to go out and do that. Immerse yourself with someone who is smarter than you. You're the dumbest in the room, but don't take that to heart. I mean, you're learning. You're going to get to that point, and then you're going to grow. There's going to be someone you're going to go out and have to find smarter. You're going to outgrow those people that you were in that room with. Once you get comfortable, you have now set into the ways of not really learning that much. Go put yourself in an uncomfortable room where there's people that are MBAs, doctors. You're like, God, this is another 8 years of school that I didn't go through. You've got something to tell me. What's up? How'd you do it?
Can I tell a little side story real quick, going back to the whole school thing?
Yeah. I'd love to hear it.
I'll never forget, we had a kid in my senior class that aced his ACT. Straight up aced it. He was one of 30 in the country that did that.
I was going to say, it's
it's
the lowest number. My older brother was very close, but
he aced it. And we had the same prep period. So I found out he was getting interviewed by the news and everything because he aced his ACT. I went up for 2 2 weeks in a row and just sat by him during our prep period at the computer because I had my ACTs coming up. And I mean, honestly, if it wasn't for him, he didn't help me study or anything, but just his aura, like I did all right on my ACT. And I asked him at one point, I straight up asked him, I said, "What'd you do to prepare?" And he said, "I woke up, ate oatmeal and a banana, and I went and took the test."
Dude.
And I said, "That's ridiculous."
Dude,
but his
brother,
aura just vibrated, just positive ACT.
My little brother was like out partying the night before his best ACT test and still killed me in numbers. And I studied months for that. Yeah. Hard too. I went to like a training center and like sat down with a tutor to study for that. Not fun. But exactly what we're getting at in this point. You don't even need to talk to these people, but just being in a room with these people. Like, for example, who if you could pick right now 5 people to sit in a room with and just listen to their conversation, who'd be your top 5?
You want me to answer that?
I mean, yeah.
I can think of a few. Elon Musk, Bezos.
2 of mine.
Buffett.
The 3rd of mine.
I'm going to have to say Gates too, because he's very evolutionary and I like the way he thinks. And then my last one, I could probably give you 4. I don't know my last one.
Mark Cuban is one of mine.
Ooh, I like that one too.
He's a really, really, really solid investor.
He's on the bubble for me, but yeah, absolutely.
And he's a good human.
One. Yeah, he's a great one.
But yeah, no, those your first 3 are literally exactly my first 3. Those are just insanely out there people where if you could sit in a room and conversate, my other one would be Joe Rogan because of who he's talked to and what he knows from talking to those people. Mm-hmm. Because some of the stuff that I've listened to, like maybe even I'd throw on there Alex Jones because that guy's scary.
I'm saying LeBron as my 5th one.
That'd be cool.
He's a business guy.
But yeah, I mean,
business guy,
you just put yourself in a room with these people and you don't even need to speak. Like you don't have to say a word, but just listening to how they speak with one another, how they interact on the level that they talk. They're not shooting a shit with each other. Most of their conversations are going to be direct business tone conversations. And that's the type of environment that if you want to go out and be a seasoned investor, if you want to go out and triple your net worth, quadruple your net worth, you need to put yourself in the shoes of people who do that and listen and follow.
I just thought of so many more people that I want to talk to all of a sudden. Now that
Let's hear another 5.
I don't know about 5, but
another solid amount of people.
Okay, Jordan Belfort for sure. I want to hear his experiences.
His Quaaludes.
Not even that. Just like, he's been through the gutters. He's been to the top. He's still vibing. Definitely would include Dave Portnoy on that because he just kind of does his thing. And,
marketing genius.
Yeah, all about marketing. And then kind of like an outlier type thing. Dave Portnoy is kind of an outlier, right?
I mean, not a lot of people would probably take everything he says. I mean, a lot of people don't take what he says seriously, obviously. But
yeah,
if you sat in a room with him and it was like a one-on-one conversation, I would hear that motherfucker out hard. That guy's so smart. So smart. Everything he touches turns to gold.
Seriously.
Like, literally.
And my last one would be Oprah.
That'd be sick.
I feel like she's got some good conversations.
Dr. Phil would be sick.
Yeah, but Oprah's just a G.
Oprah's
totally
pretty
kidding.
cool. Dr. Phil.
Martha Stewart. That'd be another good one. Lady Gaga. I'd love to kind of see what she thinks like.
I mean, just anyone who's above where you are currently in life would be someone cool to talk to. That's what you could boil down to.
Fair enough.
Because you're going to take what they say and you're going to apply the principles, values, and lessons that you learn into your life and watch it work wonders.
Phil Knight is another one.
That'd be
a good one. But like you said, these are people that are leaps and bounds ahead of where I'm at. But I want to sit down and just chat with anyone who's ahead of where I'm at and figure out how I can implement things that they do into my life. And like we talked about on an episode previous to this, success, I actually saw this today on Instagram. Success is when someone else is trying to copy you. And you don't have to reinvent the wheel here. You just find someone that's done something that you want to do, and you research it, figure out how they did it, and make it your own. And that is, they are successful because someone else and other people are trying to emulate what they have done in the past. And I think that's what kind of, in my opinion, leaving a legacy is something that, aside from being able to provide for my family and, you know, my kids and their kids and generational wealth, that's something that I pride myself on. But being able to leave a legacy in the fact that people are wanting to emulate what you've done to then get to where you are at. That's kind of my driving factor. And I think that surrounding yourself with those people that have done those things that you want to do constantly is going to help you get there. And people say you're the product of the 5 closest people, the 5 most frequented people that you hang out with or talk to, whatever it is. I think that's true. And that if you can hang out and talk with people that are ahead of you and are in the same boat as you and wanting to get ahead like you, that's going to be the biggest, that's the best thing you could do for yourself, aside from actually doing the research and learning about whatever it is that you want to be incredible at.
I was just thinking that's another idea that I came to you with, foreshadowing previous episode where I talked to Trent about setting up a solid group network of like-minded individuals who are on our same wavelength when it comes to income and businesses. So yeah, that's all I wanted to say there, was the fact that that was another one. That was an idea that I came to.
They have those.
I mean, yeah, but I was saying like us locally, a solid group of humans where we're not going and putting ourselves in that, we're running it. We're leading the group. We're gathering people who are like-minded like us.
Starting like idea. A young gun BNI group or something like that.
Initially, yep. You could throw that out there.
All right. You got anything else you want to say about hanging out with cool people that are better than you?
No, I mean, I think it's pretty damn self-explanatory when it comes to who you become is who you are around. I mean, it is just so easy to realize. Step back and just look at like your friend groups and watch yourself. Who were you before you met that friend, and what do you do that they do now? I mean, you pick up so much slang from your friends. You pick up like actions, like tones, their body language in certain environments. You become a product of who you spend the most time with.
Yeah.
So put yourself in people's shoes who you want to be. Trent was saying he's not there yet, but he wants to be there. So why not put himself in those shoes, and why not think like those people, and why not try and be like those people, and why not copy their success? At the end of the day, don't reinvent the wheel. It's easy.
You don't have to.
You don't have to. It's easy. People have done it and showed it for hundreds of years. Just put the work in. Put your time in. And it'll pay off.
What's crazy, too, is in our world today, there's not only books, but there's also the internet. And you can literally find any blueprint that you want to research about.
Free education.
And it's free.
We posted this on our Instagram.
You can just go do it right now. It's crazy.
Don't even need to go to college anymore. If you're thinking like business degree related, you could go and find everything you want to know on Google.
Yeah.
Google Scholar, for that matter. That's where it literally isn't even coming up with ad pages. It's coming up with legit Scholar articles that you're reading.
You could even Bing it if you wanted to.
There's just...
You could go Bing it.
It's out there. Go and grab it. If you don't know, go and find it. There's an answer for everything.
At the end of the day, the simple principle here is just go hang out with people that are ahead of where you are and where you want to go.
I also want to point out, if there is a question about a certain industry where you know a person and you know they do that on the daily, don't go and research it online. Just go and ask that person.
Yeah.
Come and ask me anything mortgage-wise, and I'm going to tell you. I'm an open book. I know Trent's probably the exact same way when it comes to real estate. Don't go and research stuff online because you're going to fall into the trap of all the marketing stuff. But ask people if you are hunting for industry-specific answers and you know someone in that industry who spends their time daily. Ask them. Don't go and ask Google. But if it's a simple, I don't even know, stupid question, maybe ask Google and figure it out first. And then if it stems you into larger thinking, then figure out where you're going to go and ask questions. But that's all I wanted to say there, because we were kind of hyping up go and ask Google, but no. Don't go and ask Google if you know someone industry specific is what I wanted to put across there.
And that's why it's important that you have those connections with industry specific people. Not only are you going to be able to get your answers from those people, and it's as easy as texting or calling them, I have people that I could literally pick up the phone if I had a question and call right now, text them right now, and they'd give me the answer. And because I associate myself with people that are more knowledgeable than I am in those industries, in that field. And I think that's what's so awesome is I communicate with these people, and not only do you get your answer, you build your relationship because you're having another contact with them, and they're going to start realizing that, hell, Trent reaches out to me for these questions. If I have questions, I know I can go reach out to him. So you're building a relationship, you're getting your answer, and you're also creating your network and tightening your network for when you have a client that needs those services, or if you yourself need those services, you know who you can call and trust because they're going to get you the answers when you need them to. It's just the power of knowing people that are more knowledgeable than you in other industries.
Big facts.
It's awesome.
That's the end of this episode because that is the most truth you can speak to. That right there is literally that. Replay it. The last 30
go
seconds.
listen to it again.
Go and listen to it again.
If I could mic drop right now, I would probably mic drop, but it's all hooked up in this whole thing, and I don't want to mess up our equipment.
Mic drop.
That's it. Have a great weekend. That was your Fast Paced Friday episode. We'll catch you next week. Adios.
Peace.
And that was the end of today's Fast Paced Friday episode. Don't forget to subscribe. Check us out on Instagram, Desk Talk Podcast. All of our socials will be in the description below. Have a great weekend. Adios.